Hi! So I've been wanting to do this video. I know a lot of you have switched to the new way of the prayer journal, and you might be wondering how you are going to switch out a new prayer journal, either when the new year comes or when your journal is filled. So I have an idea of how I'm going to do it, so I thought I would just kind of share. So first I want to say the reason why I really wanted to do this journal is because I didn't want to move my war room section anymore. So when I first started these journals in like 2015, I created, I had the war room section, and I had like a huge war room section. I would spend so much time. I'd spend time thinking about my own heart. And so I'd go through all these verses and find verses and write prayers. And then there'd be a day and several days where I'd be like, okay, I'm feeling anxious. I'm going to find some stuff on anxiety. So I would, and it obviously didn't look like this, but like for my anxiety section, I would basically take time and I would find a bunch of verses, write a bunch of prayers. And so at the end of the year, I had like a ton of stuff in my war room section. And I remember getting a new prayer journal and being like, well, wait a second, like I've spent all this time in my war room section and finding like biblically based prayers. And these are prayers, because the war room section is more prayers that you can pray all the time, right? And so I was like, I don't really want to like lose those. And so what I noticed, and I had to because it wasn't a binder, first of all, and I just had to. So what I would do is I would, a lot of times when I got a new prayer journal, I would go through each section and I would write some prayers. Like I would look at anxiety and I'd be like, okay, I'll write these 3 prayers or these few verses, and and kind of fill up my new prayer journal with the stuff that I knew I'd want, because I'd spent all this time in the Word finding these verses. But what I did notice is I couldn't do it all. I couldn't add every single one. And so as the years went on, my war room section got smaller and smaller and smaller. And so that's actually one of the reasons I really wanted to create this, because my issue is my war room section I just wasn't using anymore. And I love the idea of the war room section. It's like my favorite thing, but I think I got tired of having to rewrite the same prayers all over again and feel like, okay, I already like did a whole study on anxiety. It's just in a prayer journal from years ago. So all that to say, the reason why I like this journal is I will not be taking out the war room section. I'll be taking out pieces of it, but not the main like portion of it. So let me show you what that means. So this is my current prayer journal. And then I got another binder and I printed off dividers. So this divider is I actually have prayers from before when I was doing the other type of prayer journaling. So I already have that in here. And then what I did is I just printed off the war room main tab and I printed off these tabs, and I'll show you, like, there's nothing behind them yet. So I have my heart, I have marriage, husband, children, family, friends, battle is yours, and that's it. So all the main sections like anxiety and like those are just, and I'll show you, but for me those are just like the war room prayers, the biblically based prayers. I'm not going to be moving those at all. So those will stay in there, and I'll show you which ones I'll move and not move. And then for this one, I also printed off the praise one, the praise, confess, ask, be still, and then the gratitude. So this is all ready to go. And I'm actually going to move some of my stuff in January. So at the end of this year. So this is my current prayer journal. So I've got my month, and like this will be moved. So this will go into my first section. So after all this that I had, already prayed from my other prayer journal, will go the calendars. So those will go. And if you don't have like this one, just print off this one again. And that's what I would have done, but because I already had this, I just kind of left it. But all the calendars, so the October calendar, the November calendar, and the December calendar will all go there, okay? And then for the war room section, so I already have them ready. I have them printed. I will keep this. For my heart, these are my like prayers every month. This will go. So this will have more December stuff. That will go and be filed into the to the old prayer journal. And then I'll print off a new page that says my heart, and I can start with January, okay? And then this is a war room page. So this has a prayer on idleness, because that's from a book I read. This will be staying in this journal. And the reason why, let me just kind of explain again. So the reason why is just because these are the biblically based prayers, right? These are more of the everyday prayers. Like, okay, I'm having this circumstance, or I have this issue, right, that I don't need to go back to a lot of times. And so that's why it can be filed away into this one and be like stored in there. And then I can start new and just free up some space. My prayer journal is getting pretty fat. And so that's the kind of the purpose, is just to free up space. So this is a war room page. This will stay here. This will stay here. This will stay. God's word for me is just a war room based prayers, meaning I don't write, I will write in it monthly, but I don't write like November write stuff. I don't do it every month. So for me, this won't even be touched. I will leave this stuff. Okay, so marriage, same concept. This will go into here. And then these prayers, which I have been writing from, I've been reading a book lately, Power of Praying Wife. I've written a ton of stuff from there, just like as I'm taking notes. So this will stay, because the way I do it when I pray is, if it's my marriage is on a Tuesday, and so I will come here and I will usually write down a few things, and then I will come here and I will pray through some of these, just kind of choose one and be like, okay, I'll do this one, and pray about it, and then expand about it, like talk to God about it. But I don't want this to go, because these are from different Bible verses. If it is from a Bible verse, I will write what Bible verse it's from. Like this is from Proverbs 21:19. This is from Paul David Tripp, a quote. So this will be staying, and then this will stay. Okay, so same concept as we go. Husband. Okay, October, November, December, that will all go. These war room prayers will stay in here. And then again, I will just print off another one, and then I will start new and do January, February, March. You know what I mean? Okay, same thing for the kids. These are the war room prayers, so this will stay. This has some Bible verses in here, Jeremiah, Ephesians, so this will stay. And then this one for Gemma, October, November, December, will go. And then Mikey's page will go, and Selah's page will go, and I will start over. And then same, all this stuff will stay. Home is just war room based prayers for me, so that will, I will not touch that. I will keep that. Motherhood, same thing. Family, I'm not going to move yet because I haven't filled all the pages. I'll kind of show you. I just kind of do it by, you know, person, and then it's not all filled, so I'm not going to move that yet. Friends, I am going to move. Okay. Just gonna cover it. So my friend Erica, okay, so for her, same concept, says like October, November, December. So that page will go, and I'll make Erica a new page basically. So some of the friends ones will go. I really want this new journal to be all of 2022. So anything that's 2022 specific will go in here, and then the war room stuff will stay in here. So anyways, church can stay, the world will stay. And if you want certain things to stay, so for the battle is yours, for me, if you've seen my prayer course, I've talked about it, that is like a specific like situation in my life. I will probably keep it, even though I have prayers from May. I will keep it because it helps me get through the situation sometimes, because I can go back and look at answered prayers. So I probably won't even touch that section, and that's okay too. If you have like certain things that maybe they're persistent prayers, like things that you're constantly praying for, you can always keep it in there. Okay, so words, I'm not going to touch. Like all of these other ones, I'm not going to even touch, because they are all like war room based prayers. There's no like months or anything. So all those will stay. And then we have this section. So this whole section is going to go. So I have a prayer from July, and then all of these are from August, September, November, December. So all of those will go into here, into behind this section. And then I have some, you know, new pages ready, so these can stay in here, so I can use those. And then the Who He Is section, I am not going to touch either. I like using all of these. I use this every month when a new one comes out, or when I create a new one. I use the new one, and then sometimes I'll go back to the other one. So I'm just going to leave those. And then gratitude, same thing. Like these are gratitude from May and from July, August. All of those will go. And then I will start in January. I'll just kind of start over. So, and then it'll go right here. So then I will have this be basically 2022. And then I will have this free, and it's not a ton of pages, but it will free up some space for me to kind of add some new stuff in here. So anyways, I hope that is helpful. I hope that kind of gives you some ideas if you are planning on using this journal, and if you are worried about space or worried about when you need to switch. Also, the other thing I'll say is don't feel like you have to switch at the end of the year. If you just started this, you can absolutely like go for another year and then maybe move stuff. You can even like, even this is not very thick and it probably won't be. So this might be my prayer journal for like 2022, 2023, 2024. Like I'll do probably several years in here until it's filled. So don't feel like it has to be a certain way. A lot of times I don't even start a new journal in January because typically, since I'm the one who creates it, whenever I create a new one, I start it because I like the new one. So that's just how I am. So I don't always start in January. So don't feel like, oh, it's January 1st, I have to start a new prayer journal. Like, no, if it's working for you, if it's not filled up, like continue going. But if it does make sense to like print off some new pages and maybe get some old ones out, then I just wanted to share this so that you have some ideas.